Hey, welcome. It's Brian, and this is Guitar Solo Reactions. And today we're doing another PHISH video, and this is the song AC/DC Bag. And this was brought to you by Gregg, who bought me a coffee and suggested this one. And it's, of course, from the Clifford Ball. I'm sure all of you know this show and probably every one of these songs note for note. I have not done this song before, obviously. I don't know how many things I've done from the show. It's probably not many. But anyway, I wanted to quickly read you parts of the message Gregg sent me when he did this thing, buying me a coffee. And I just thought it was really great. It starts out saying, Hi, Brian. I'm a big fan of the channel and a huge PHISH fan. And he specifically asked for this song and this show. And he mentions this was his first PHISH show, and I've listened to this version probably thousands of times. And literally, it is top notch, exquisite perfection jamming from Trey, is what he says here. I challenge you to listen to just about every note he plays when the solo begins, nearly flawless, with the energy building until Trey. This is a part I thought was really sweet. Unleashes what we call the platinum hose and opens the valve, and the music forcefully gushes from his guitar, showering the audience with unstoppable, ferocious playing. I really think this will become one of your favorites. Thanks for all the great work, Gregg from Long Island. So anyway, hopefully he doesn't mind me reading that, but I thought it was a really sweet message, and and I don't know. I just thought the descriptors for the guitar solo were great. So anyway, without further ado, let's hit it.
Mr. Palmer is concerned, the $1,000 question. Just like Roger, he's a crazy little kid. I've got the time if you've got the inclination. So cheer up, Palmer, you'll soon be dead. The noose is hanging, at least he won't die wondering. Sit up and take notice, tell it like it is. If I were near you, I wouldn't be far from you. I've got a feeling you know what you did. AC/DC bag. AC/DC bag. AC/DC.
I know there's got to be some really great story behind the title of the song, but I don't have a clue. And I was going to quickly say, as far as Trey's tone, I as most of you will probably, let me know that I do a lot of the newer stuff, whether it's Tab or later PHISH things or newer PHISH videos or whatever. And here it's the clean tone's really nice. It's really mid-rangey, but it's not. He's obviously not trying to overdrive it a lot, but it's kind of interesting. He tends to use. I'm sure you correct me if I'm wrong, but he tends to use a little more gain now on just basically the general rhythm tone. Not always, but it seems to me that he's definitely using more dirt. I could be wrong. That's just my, inexperienced opinion. But anyway. It's kind of got a David Bowie feel a little bit.
Time to put your money where your mouth is. Put them in a field.
That reminds me
Let 'em
of
fight it out.
Sympathy for the Devil a little bit.
My feet don't touch the ground. I'm a stranger here.
Chord-wise.
I'm going down. Let's get down to the
little more dirt.
If you show me yours, I'm breathing hard. Open the door. AC/DC bag. AC/DC bag. AC/DC bag. DC AC/DC bag. AC/DC bag. AC/DC bag. DC bag. Brain dead and made of money. No future at all. Pull down the blinds and run for cover. No future at all. Who would have thought it? That's where I am.
Cool.
No future at all. Don't sweat it. That's where I am. Oh, carry me now.
Nice. 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 So many people. Okay, so I stopped it a little bit early, but I hate some of these videos stop so abruptly and then the next one comes up. And it always is embarrassing to me to do that and to edit it all out. So, anyway, hopefully that's not too upsetting. But what do I have to say about this? I think, yeah, that is like, I think the solo was probably what? At least 6 minutes of that, right? And I guess the only thing I would say is like, it's more of the, an audio standpoint. Like, I wanted to hear the guitar just like really push up. He kind of does that more recently. And of course, this has nothing to do with him. It's just like the mix. But I really, you kind of feel it building, obviously. And he plays continually for basically 6 minutes. So I definitely get a little bit of what Gregg was saying here and kind of building to that point where he kind of, it's almost like you can hear him going through the chord changes to some degree, not necessarily in a modal sense, but like just kind of maybe I don't know, more scale based or something like that. And he's shifting around, and he's also putting a lot of tension in there where, on some of those things he shifts up the same figure he's doing, up a half step or a whole step. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but just to build that tension. But for the first half of that, it's just kind of a cool, kind of slippery, arpeggiated kind of motif going through it. It kind of continues that. And there's some cool little runs at the very beginning. Is also some kind of cool, kind of altered scale stuff that I kind of picked up on. I'd have to watch it and, like Gregg, maybe listen to this hundreds of times, if not thousands, to kind of get the whole gist of it. But I really do love that it took him. I kind of get where he's saying it kind of started to kind of like unleash the platinum hose. Was that it? I'll have to look again, but definitely cool. And it opens up a lot. And it's almost like John on drums and the whole band kind of goes to a double time feel or something like that. A lot more propulsive, a lot more kinetic, and not rushed or anything like that. And not even really super busy, because Trey is like, I think, really maintaining the energy, like bringing the energy up, and then, kind of building it towards the end here where he's doing a little more of the pick scrapes and all of that kind of stuff. The kind of sound effects type stuff. So really, no effects on this except he starts essentially with the same sound, and all I can tell is towards the end maybe he's brought in a little more gain, whether that was a tube screamer or this is from 96, so I'm not exactly sure what else he would be using outside of some gain from one of the amps or amp heads to kind of get it there. And again, it's not gain like that I love, which is really heavy gain, but it was just like, it's like pushing the amp in a really nice kind of sweet, mellow way. And yeah, I need to listen to this more. This may be my favorite solo. Oh, well, the thing I was going to say is like the phrasing too, like at the beginning, he starts out kind of sparsely doing stuff. And I was thinking of John Scofield a little bit, not really harmonically speaking, but just technique wise, like, or just an approach. And I mean, this is a very kind of consonant sounding chord progression. So he's definitely pushing notes out of the scale or out of the key a little bit, but not too far. And he's just really breaking up the phrasings at the beginning a lot. And then it goes into that thing I was kind of talking about. I was thinking of like, it's kind of like I don't know how to, it's like an undulating current. It's kind of going forward, it's kind of going back. And then as it gets to that point where they kind of go into that double time thing, where he really kind of basically almost switches pickups. That could be part of it too. It sounded a lot like he was like on the neck pickup, and I didn't watch. I'd have to watch again. And then he might switch to the bridge pickup as it gets that kind of higher intensity part. So maybe we should just look back. I don't know where let's go back. I never do this, but let's give it a whirl. So be patient with me. So there he is changing with the kind of chords. Kind of the same feel, solo-wise. Different notes, obviously. Okay, so here we go. Wow, I timed it perfectly. Oh, maybe not. Kind of double time here. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So there's a little more, it's like got a little more frenetic energy, a little more kind of chromaticism. And he's still kind of got that. I would have to think about it like rhythmically. It's not like he's doing the same figure over and over, but there is this great kind of theme that runs through the most of the solo, even the beginning once he starts going to this part. Now it just kind of picks up once they do that double time thing, like I found, and then going towards the end. Yeah, yeah. Some cool arpeggiated stuff. Yeah. Well, there we go. I played it all the way to the end. Please watch to the end, I guess. I'll probably have to say that in the comments or the intro or something. So, anyway, so there we have it. AC/DC bag. This was brought to you by Gregg. Bought me a coffee. Thanks again, Gregg. And this is from the Clifford Ball, and I'm sure you're all familiar with it. And as far as solos go, this is probably one of the longer ones I've done where he's played continually nonstop. So I'm kind of getting more and more what people say, like, hey, go back to the, a certain time frame, 96. I definitely know what I like, and I'm kind of getting closer as I do these, as I hear more, as the channel grows. Maybe things kind of, I start doing more PHISH again. I'm not sure that's the case, but what I'm trying to say is, like, I think as I kind of pull more knowledge into my listening experience with PHISH, maybe I do start to define that better. I personally like how he sounds now a lot, like tone wise, and I don't need him to play as fast. Like this is, this is pretty chops oriented stuff, but it's not like over the top or anything like that. So I like when someone kind of progresses, in my mind, progression sometimes meaning getting to a point where you're maybe playing less notes or and you're taking more risks. And I don't know, that doesn't really apply to Trey because he's always taking risks, whether it's with loops or, effects and all of that. So again, I'm probably just kind of tucking out my ass here, but yeah, I really wanted to think about this one since Gregg made it so stated it so eloquently that specifically this song and this guitar solo were, one of his favorite, or one of his favorites at least. And I'll have to agree with him. Thanks for joining me, and I appreciate it. And thanks again to Gregg for doing this and making this happen. So there you go. All right, have a good day. Bye.